Hello everybody and welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole. Today I'm going to be talking about the results of my Wheel of Fate making the Ailing blouse from Jennifer Lauren Handmade. If you've never joined me in my sewing room before, then welcome. And if you are new, then I would just like to say the Wheel of Fate is something that I have been spinning to determine what my next project is going to be. This time round of this series, I was spinning once for the pattern and once for the fabric, and it has not let me down. So what did I make and how did I get on with it? Well, it chose this time round this very in your face fabric. I have to say the design is very much, you know, one of these fabrics that your kind of eyes go strange when you look at it for too long. And it shows the Ailing blouse from Jennifer Lauren Handmade. Now, this is a pattern that I had free with a magazine. It's not really free, is it? A couple of years ago, I would say. Been put in my drawer, forgot all about it. Loved the shape of the square neck. Now, I was quite excited to make this up. In this series I'd made quite a few blouses and I have now got a couple of button down ones, so I was glad it landed on this, certainly for this fabric, because this fabric doesn't need any kind of fanciness whatsoever. So I was quite excited about this, and I was reading the back and it was saying you've got 4 pattern sheets, you've got an instruction sheet, and it does cup sizes. I was so excited because it does cup sizes, so no FBA, so you know you won't need to play around with it. And then I looked at what size I needed, got the pattern sheets out, and I only had 3 pattern sheets, but it said 4. Okay, I thought that's fine, maybe it includes the instruction sheet. I won't worry too much. So I got all the finished garment measurements out, and it was saying A cup, B cup, D cup. I thought this is brilliant because I'm actually a D cup. Although I'm quite small, I'm a D cup. So I thought, brilliant, there's obviously some patterns in here ready drawn out for B, you know, C, D, E cups. Could I find them? No, I couldn't find them anywhere. The only pattern cup size was for a B cup. And in small print, I read, download the front bodice pattern for cup sizes A, C and D at gatheredhowailingBlouse.com. It's not there anymore. It was obviously something that was quite new when the pattern was released with the magazine, which was a couple of years ago. It was not there. I searched and searched and searched. And I didn't want to buy the pattern, obviously, because then I'd have 2 patterns, and the idea was that I use this free one up. So I thought, okay, I'll just go with it. I don't normally do patterns with cup sizes, so I will just go with it. And what I did in the end, because I'm quite small here, bigger here, I think I used an 8 and I graded out to a 10. Now these are obviously quite generous size, because I would be bigger than that in the big 4 patterns. Okay, so did all that and I just went with it. So I got to sewing it up, and I couldn't find on here anywhere where the seam allowance was. No mention of what seam allowance whatsoever on here, and that was getting me cross, because you know I'm a big 4 person, and it's the same, and they always say, and they say on the pattern, and it's getting cross. Anyway, in the end I did a lot of searching, and somebody was moaning about the fact that it was a 1.5 seam allowance. Brilliant, I thought, excellent. They didn't like it and they said about it was 1.5, so I knew I could just go ahead and make it up, and I did. I will say, right at the very end, after I'd finished it all, when I picked up the pattern cover again, it actually says seam allowance is 1.5 on the pattern cover, pattern envelope. What a silly place to put it. You're going to be following this, aren't you, when you make up a pattern? You're not going to go back to the envelope for instructions. Having said all that, and I'm not being negative at all, it was a very simple pattern to make up. I just made the one on the front, square neck with the facings, great facings, everything matched up perfectly. I do like the sizing. It may be a little bit tight on me, and I think had I had the cup sizes, that might have saved me a little bit. But really pleased with it. Like the shaping at the bottom. And this was the fabric I made it in. I'll try it on for you now, and then you can see what you think. So here we go, we have it, the Ailing blouse. I really like this, and I know it's a bit bright, as I said before, but I really love this top. This is a neckline that I didn't think would work for me, being narrow shouldered, but I think because I did grade in, grade out, I think it's worked. I just didn't think this would suit me at all. In actual fact, when I showed it to Chris, my husband, and he said, oh, that's got a nice neckline on it, so a win. Obviously very plain. It's got nice shaping at the back, shaping at the front. Where I'm saying it could be too tight is obviously if I lean forward too much, then it does pull across the back. But actually I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I like the length. I don't think I altered the length at all. The only thing I did do was take a good inch either side. I raised up the sleeves either side, and this is falling just perfect actually. That was just pure guesswork, chopping an inch off that. The elastic I put in there, it's kind of loose. It's not tight to my wrist because I really don't like that. So I think it falls nicely. It's a lovely rayon chalet. Sorry, I didn't say that. Viscose chalet. Beautiful piece of fabric. Cannot remember where I got it from. I popped on some of my navy trousers. I think it's a bird pattern. I can never remember which ones I used for this, but I think it's a bird pattern. Yeah, I think it's going to be really smart for autumn. Was it a successful pattern? Yes. And if I want a quick pattern made up, I think it would work. One of the versions has got a wide sort of collar here and some buttons down the front. I didn't like that sort of collar that would come out here and this big square gap. I wasn't a fan of that at all. So this for me, plain and simple, is my thing, my bag. So what is left to do is spin the wheel again. So we're going to have a strange situation here because I've got 2 fabrics left and 2 patterns. So I might have to spin this a few times because it might land on something I've spun before. But of course, when I get the result of the spins, we'll know what the other result is going to be, if you know what I mean. So there will be 2 results. I'm going to tell you what I'm hoping for. Now, if it comes out like this, you'll probably say I've cheated, but I'm trying not to do that. But the 2 patterns I've got left are, one is Butterick 6455 and one is Butterick 6632. They're both Butterick. I didn't realise that. So this very pretty top here, or this kind of, it's got a gap down the middle, but neither are button-up tops. Now, I really want this fabric to land up with that pattern. I just think that would work well. And I really want this to land up as this, because this it's not my favourite. It was the least favourite of all the fabrics I had, because it's quite a cheap viscose, I will say, quite open, loose weaved, but it could work. I think it could work for that. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know whether I'm tempting fate and it's going to be completely different, or it's going to spin out like that and you're going to think I cheated. I don't know. Let's spin the wheel and decide what's going to happen. And of course, this will be for the last time in this series that I will be spinning the wheel. The fabric wheel or wheel of fate will go away for a couple of months, I imagine. Maybe see it again before the end of the year. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So let's spin and see what the results are. So my huge apologies if I have to respin a few times because of the crossed off sections. I'm just being very lazy and not redoing the wheel. So spin first of all for the pattern. Here we go. Right, okay. It's this pattern. And what did I just say? This was the fabric I wanted. Oh gosh, let's see. Okay, here we go. You see, you're going to think I cheated now, but I honestly haven't. So there we go. Those are my pairings. I'm still laughing from the results. Sorry. So as you can see, it turned out exactly what I wanted. And I promise I did not cheat. I think the wheel is really kind to me. Every one I've done has worked out just right. And I think the wheel is on my side. So the pattern I will use is Butterick 6455. No idea what I will make. I would like to do that one, but I don't know if I will or not. And it's using this fabric. Now this is a lovely piece of fabric I have had for quite a long time because I just didn't know what to do with it. I will say it's quite summery, but well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, there's no law that you can't wear flowery things in winter, I'm sure. So that is the one I'm going to be making up first. But of course, it has left me with the other result, which is this one. I think I would probably make this version here. You've got a version there. Oh, it's got the tied sleeves. That's what it is. Yeah. I don't quite know. The differences are very slight on all of those views, but this, I think this would have worked really well with it. So yeah, that would be more autumnal. I think it's the colours because of the brown. So there we go. I just, oh dear, I love that wheel. I really hope that you've enjoyed this series as much as I have. And I know I say, oh, I love doing the wheel videos, but I really do because it just makes doing these projects so much fun. And I've used up another 6 fabrics that I had in my stash. I've used up another 6 patterns that I hadn't ever used before and that was just sat in my pattern stash, and that's been the same. The other 2 series is done. I've used fabric that was just there for ages, fabric that I really didn't like, don't know why I bought, and ended up being amazing. So it's been great fun. Now, of course, there are a couple of other YouTubers, lovely Nancy from Running with Scissors and Mary Love My Crafts, who are doing a similar type of thing. These, as I said, will be my last results, last spin. I will, of course, come back. It'll be a few weeks because I've got kind of 2 projects to make up and we are going away, so it'll be a few weeks, but I will come back with the results of this and then I'll give a full rundown of all the patterns I used and just another quick thoughts on the things that I made this series. Thank you again. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have fun sewing, and that is the main thing. It's our hobby at the end of the day. So happy sewing, and I will see you in my sewing room again before long, I'm sure. Bye bye for now.